Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Binti Razali, and I would like to talk about my proposal for final year project titled Freshwater Betta Fish Disease Recognition, supervised by Puan Siti Nur Kamalia Kamarudin. And this is my presentation outline, which consists of five major components, which is the Chapter 1, Introduction, Chapter 2, Literature Review, Chapter 3, Research Methodology, Ground Chart, and Conclusion. So for the research background, betta fish is native species that can be found in Asian countries. Due to its attractiveness and being very easy to breed, people from different backgrounds can be breeders. This happened due to the pandemic COVID-19 that may allow sector facing problems that make people jobless. People breed betta fish to generate more income from selling the fish because the high demand from local and overseas. Malaysia is one of the largest countries that export ornamental fish worth million ringgit. Thus, problems such as disease outbreaks need to be catered to minimize fish mortality rate and maximize the revenue. All freshwater species are susceptible to the same type of fish disease caused by bacteria, virus, and fungi infection. This disease can bring negative impact to the ornamental fish industry because it can easily infect other fish in the captive environment. So next we go to the problem statement. So the first one, the trade and circulation of living animal without following technical standardized and safety procedures allow the spread of several agents. Betta fish breeders or people who are new to the betta fish care and guard are often unaware of the type of disease. And lastly, there are a few common types of fish disease that can infect betta fish species and other fish species. So for my research question, that will be answered by the objective. The first one, what are the special features that indicate the type of fish disease? Second, what are the best hyperparameters for betta fish disease recognition? And third, how to develop and design a mobile application system for the image recognition process. So the objective for the first one, to identify special features for differentiating the type of fish diseases. To determine the best hyperparameter for betta fish disease recognition. And lastly, to develop and design a mobile application system for the image recognition process. So for my research scope, this project scope is solely for fish disease recognition that is specifically for freshwater betta fish species. And second, the type of fish disease that will be covered are dropsy, betta tumor, and tail fin rot, respectively. Okay, next for the research significance, the project finding will help people in determining the fish disease based on the image. In addition, this project also assists people in decision making on which type of fish disease, so people can come up with medication or treatment that is applicable based on the system output. So thus, it can reduce the diagnosing time by classifying the type of disease and reducing the mortality rate of fish by using this machine learning model. So next is the chapter 2, which is the literature review. So in the domain, there are 4 subtopics, which is betta species, disease type, ornamental fish, and radiate. So betta species, they are often found in paddy field, creek, or puddle near the swamp. Betta fish can live in low oxygen because they can breathe air directly from the water surface. Because they have a special organ called labyrinth. Labyrinth make them breathe easily without using the gills to collect the oxygen. So for the disease type, there are 3 disease types, which is dropsy, betta tumor, and tail and fin rot. So for the dropsy, Aromonas hydrophila is bacteria that cause fish face dropsy. If not treated, it often attacks stressed fish that usually live in high ammonia water because of the fish urine and feces. This bacteria will attack the fish antibody, and the antibody will show signs of pine cone scale, discoloration, and enlarged abdomen as a result of antibody reaction and organ failure. The fish that face dropsy usually does not live much longer because of their health deterioration and lastly die from total organ failure. So second, for the beta tumor, tumor are very synonym for cancerous cell development or a sign of worsening health condition. Most of the time, tumor appear as a bump or unusual enlargement on a certain area of the body. So based on this project for the betta fish, it is very rare for them to have a cancer. This is because of their antibody that can stand harsh water much better than any other species. So the third disease, which is tail and fin rot. So based on a research paper by Muzamdar in 2021, a controlled artificial infection is conducted to see a clinical sign of the fin and tail rot disease. The major characteristic are ulceration, fin rot, same as the infection in the natural habitats. This condition occurs frequently in captive environment where the water quality is very poor. Other than that, Aromonas and Pseudomonas are the common bacteria and pathogens that infect freshwater fish. Thus, most of the time it shows symptoms such as color loss, torn fin, ulceration, white eyes, or bleeding. So, the third subtopic, which is ornamental fish. 675 registered breeders across Malaysia are from Perak and Johor, and the unregistered breeders remain unknown, and it is expected to be more than 675. So because of the number of registered breeders are so many, the gross domestic revenue generated from the ornamental fish industry is more than 250 million, while export value up to 17.5 million US dollar. And the last subtopic, which is Reddit. Reddit, it contains a lot of intellectual topic, and it can be found by searching for subreddit. Reddit also allows users to post their concern about some problems such as fish disease, read picture, videos. Thus, it will lead to data scraping. So, for the technique that I will be used in my final project, which is two, multi-SVM and hyperparameter tuning. So, the application of multi-SVM to detect infected fish in the aquaculture industry, especially for the salmon fish species. The experiment shows significance of 91.2% accuracy without augmentation and 94.12% with augmentation, and it is precise in detecting infected fish in the early stage. So the second technique I will be going to use, which is hyperparameter tuning. So the cuckoo search algorithm perform better than genetic algorithm in radial basis function kernel. So besides that, the genetic algorithm, although being slightly lower than cuckoo search, it is reported to be the best optimizer that perform overall the best in the support vector machine. So For the related work, I choose the three research paper that give a very significant impact from my project. So the first one from the fish image dataset from Norwegian fish farm for species recognition using deep neural network paper that published on 2021, which is the YOLO version 3 is very expensive to implement the system. This is because in the paper itself, the hardware and software alone, they use Intel Xeon 3.9 GHz with 16 core, and the GPU is NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000, and the RAM is 64 GB, which is very expensive nowadays. So it made me really want to use SVM because it can eliminate the hardware constraint. So the second parameter, which is the kernel parameter tuning to tweak the performance of classifier for identification of heart disease. So based on this paper, my finding is the hyperparameter tuning increase the accuracy from 85 to 87% using support vector machine. So the last paper, which I found it in the last paper from Han 2018, title Automated System for Segmentation and Recognition of Fruit Crop Disease based on correlation coefficient and deep CNN features. The multi-class SVM reached significant accuracy about 98.6% of this selected using genetic algorithm. So this is proof the other paper that said the genetic algorithm perform overall the best in the support vector machine. So next, for my research methodology, there are 8 phases that I will be going to do. The first one, which is preliminary study, identify the problem based on interest, domain, scope, project, pass research paper about fish disease criteria, and discuss with the supervisor. Based on this step, the deliverable, which is the title project, problem statement, background of the study area, research question, objective, scope, and domain. So for the second objective, which is there is 4 phases: image data collection, class label, data processing method, and modeling process. So for image data collection, I will be using Reddit image data scraping using tools named PassHub and manual image collection from personal pet or wildlife. So the deliverable is a raw dataset from secondary and primary sources are combined. So for the class label, which is the data collected labeled according to the disease type respectively. The deliverable raw dataset that already has class label and ready to be processed. Why I label it manually? Because it is almost impossible to label the image based on the Reddit because it lack of class label. So I do it manually based on the literature review finding with the cross-reference with Reddit posts, whether they state they're facing the problem that very similar with the research paper or not. So for the data processing method, there are 4 steps that I will be doing. The first one is resize image, image filtering, apply k-mean, and image augmentation. So based on this step, the output will be the clean image dataset. And then the clean dataset are ready to be used in the modeling process. So in modeling process, I will apply the radial basis function kernel that built in the sklearn library using Python and optimization algorithm. So based on this, the deliverable which I will identify with hyperparameter tuning that will give the best accuracy to the model classification. So lastly, for the third objective, there are three phases, which is design and development, testing, and documentation. Which is I need to design the mobile app interface, test it, and document it to be recorded for the thesis of final year project. Okay, so this is the framework or summarization of my research methodology. So starting from primary study, image data collection, class level, data processing, modeling, design development, testing, and documentation phases are the last one that will be finished in semester 6. So next, which is the Gantt chart, based on the flow. The primary study that I finished, which is the output this proposal, and the second one, the image data collection. I've collected the data, but it is not complete yet. So for the conclusion, in conclusion, disease recognition is critical component in determining the type of disease. As a result, knowing their unique characteristics contribute to disease will help them learn more. Equally important, this project will contribute to the well-being of fish in the aquaculture and ornamental fish industry by identifying the type of fish disease so they can develop a contingency plan to cater for the problem occurrence.